So today we'll try to run through the entire canto and canto 2, the issue, quickly run through the whole thing as a kind of a review, and then I think from next class onward we'll start real Savitri, the book of the traveler of the world. You see, book of the traveler of the world. Real Savitri. Well, this is a prologue. This is a prologue, you see. This is a story written elsewhere, the unfinished story of the soul of Savitri.
This is more important.
Of course, obviously, real in the sense that the narrative begins with that. You see, this is a, if you like, you can call this thing as a kind of a flashback. These two cantos, kind of a flashback, reflecting on the entire thing and then developing this thing. In fact, there are in all 49 cantos in Savitri. Out of these 49, these two cantos are of a different kind than the remaining 47 cantos. There you have the narrative going on, and the narrative has been developed in a very certain manner, you see. Now, out of those 49 cantos, there are 24 cantos in part 1. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, there are 24 cantos, and of those 24 cantos, these are the two cantos which form the prolegomena of Savitri. So the remaining 22 cantos actually form part 1 of Savitri. In that sense, you see, if you want to put that, part 1 of Savitri. See. Now, this 2 plus 22 cantos, that is 24 cantos of part 1, were mostly written by Savitri in his own handwriting. Till 1944, he was writing, rewriting, drafting, redrafting, revising constantly these 24 cantos in his own handwriting. From 45 onward, then the composition of Savitri proceeded in a different manner. Partly he used to scribble some passages here and there, then dictation, then revisions, things like that. So there is a difference also in the way the Savitri composition are proceeded as far as part 1 is concerned and part 2 and part 3 are concerned, you see. There is a difference between that thing. Now there is something very interesting also. See, you have Canto 1 and Canto 2, the symbol dawn and the issue as the two cantos. Then there is a long description of how the yoga of Ashwapati proceeded, how he invoked the Divine Mother, how he compelled her to take the mortal birth, and as she grows up, she finds Satyavan as her husband. They get married, and then the day of death arrives. The day of death arrives. So, Canto 1, symbol dawn, Canto 2, the issue, and the remaining cantos till the Book of Death. The Book of Death has a title, Canto 3. In Book of Death, there is no Canto 1 and Canto 2. There are no Canto 1. It is Canto 1 and 2 are not there at all. Only it describes Canto 3, Book of Death, Book 8. Therefore, you can say that the first two cantos of the story of Savitri are the symbol dawn, Canto 1, the issues, Canto 2, the Book of Death, Death in the Forest, Canto 3, and starts onward. You are getting the link? See, Book 3.
You said that Book 8, there
Book
is
8, you open Book 8, so it is called Canto 3.
So, what does it mean?
This is what I am trying to explain to you. Canto 1 and Canto 2 are the two cantos preceding Canto 3, Death in the Forest.
So Canto 1 actually makes sense. Book 1.
Yeah, Book 1. Book 1, Canto 1, Canto 2. In other words, all these pages in between, All these pages in between, Canto 2 of Book 1 and Canto 3 of Book 8, all these pages in between are supplementary pages, padding. You are able to get now. So otherwise, how to justify Canto 3? See, the point is, uh, Canto 1 and Canto 1 and Canto 2 specify the problem, the issue, and what is going to happen. And immediately the narrative starts with the book of death. So this was that everyone, Satyavan must die. And then begins the book of death. From that point begins the book of death. And then starts the dialogue with death and Savitri winning back the soul of Satyavan. So in between all that you have got is the supplementary material to build up the entire story.
It's like flashback.
Yeah. So basically, this is something which is of a secondary kind, of a secondary in a way of speaking. I mean, so that is how you can justify why this Canto 3 has remained Canto 3. You see. Well, I mean that is one good way of logicizing the thing. But basically, what actually happened is this Canto 3 of Book of Death, Book 8. Book 8 belongs to a very early period of Savitri's draft, 1916 draft, the Arya period draft. And when the major dictation, composition of Savitri was over, when Shabandhu had taken up the book of fate again at the end to revise and add number of passages you see. So after that completion, around 15th November 1950, just 3 weeks before Shabandhu's withdrawal, he completed the dictation pertaining to book 6. When that was over, then he asked Nirodharan, is there anything remaining? Is there anything remaining? So at that time, Nirodharan said, Book of Death and the Epilogue. Book of Death and the Epilogue. Shabandhu said, oh, about them, we shall see later on. And that later on was not to come. You see. Later on. Now, that Book of Death, which was there in the Arya period, 1916-1918, had at that time Canto 3 of that particular time. In that sequence, it was named Canto 3. And that Canto 3 was retained till the end, even now in the print, you see. That thing. That was not altered, you see. So that is the kind of a little background. And in order to satisfy ourselves, we can say that it has to be Canto 3 because the first two cantos are the symbol down and the issue. And the rest is only kind of an additional material, you see. So that is how perhaps one might kind of logicize the whole thing, you see, to please ourselves, you see. So what we'll do now is we'll quickly run through the second canto, the issue, and then from next class onward, Tuesday, that is 2nd January, New Year also, we'll start with the Yoga of Ashwapati and then proceed, go through the 22 cantos of Savitri. Remaining 22. So we have done 27 cantos and 2 we have just finished. So we have got now to do 22 cantos after this, you see it. But that itself is almost half of Savitri. In terms of the number of lines, that is almost half of Savitri, as you have seen just now, half of Savitri. So I don't know how long it will take to complete that thing, but we will continue that. See. Yeah. A while withdrawn in secret fields of thought, her mind moved in a merry maze the past. So in this canto, the issue, there are 2 sections, section 3 and section 4. There are 2 sections and there are 42 sentences in the first section of the issue and 48 sentences in the second half of it. and the total number of sentences 90, 90 consisting of 42 plus 48 sentences, and total number of lines 367. The issue has a total number of lines 367 as against 341 lines of book Canto 1 of the Symbol Dawn. And this 367 lines, 185 lines in the first section and 182 lines in the second section. Almost equally balanced both the sections, you see. The average number of syllables per line 10.71, average characters per word 4.75, average lines per sentence 4.08 total, average words per line, each line how many words are there? 7.52. So 7.52 words per line, it means it will take roughly 6 seconds to utter a line. To read a line, it will take roughly 6 seconds. So you can calculate now from 6 seconds how long you will need to read 24,000 lines of Savitri. It comes to roughly 21 hours. Average words per sentence 30.64. Each sentence roughly 4 lines per sentence. So average per sentence 30 sentences. Now there are the bilabial, laboditiaceal, palacial, how many words are there? All the statistics are there on our website, on savitri.in. So all that data is there, the whole the data is there. Okay, so that is the general background of the canto, and then the previous canto, there is a direct connection between the first few sentences of this canto, the issue, with the Symbol Dawn. See, it is a kind of a continuation. The first few lines of the issue kind of carry forward the theme which had come to the end in the first canto, you see. Savitri is carrying the whole world within herself. The entire cosmic load is also hers. The cosmic dread, the love of the universal mother too is Savitri's. The issue is now being focused, you see. That enables Savitri to make her own calamity because the universal mother is with her. Savitri has taken the mortal birth, but the universal mother is still with her, always with her. Therefore, she can make her own calamity a weapon for conquering the difficulties in this mortal creation. That enables Savitri to make her own calamity, the personal calamity, a poignant weapon to fight the universal battle. A winning sword to defeat all that comes in the possibilities of the spirit expressing itself here. She was aware of all this. Savitri has got the universal mother with her, but she was not aware for a long time, for eons, for kalpas, for yugas. She was not aware of it. She was unaware of all this as she lay wrapped in somnolence for long years. Lay wrapped in somnolence for long years. Savitri was there since the beginning of the earth, but she was not active, so to say. However, remembers moved like a shadow. When Savitri wakes up, then like a shadow, all that was history, that is coming to her view. She put her hand upon her bosom and recognized the lingering ache. She knows not whence arose that ache, but suddenly there is this sensation. She puts her hand on her palm and finds that there is a pain, this is an ache, and she is wondering where from that ache has come. She starts attending to that ache now, you see, Savitri. Recognize, she knows not whence arose that ache, but suddenly there is a sensation. She stirs, her life shares the cosmic load. The truth is, it is the body's voiceless call that summons Savitri, makes her aware of the work she must do. It is the body's voiceless call, that is the most important thing, body's voiceless call. See, it is not the mental anguish, it is not the emotional anguish, it is the very physical body which is demanding an answer from Savitri. Savitri is told, So the body is telling to Savitri, Savitri, look, I'm here, I'm suffering right from the beginning, and you have to do something here. And it is that which makes Savitri recognize the mission for which she has taken the mortal birth. Savitri starts traveling back in time, back to the origin of things, back to the moment when began time, since the beginning of the creation. She is moving into the deepest past. In that past, she must find the evil that afflicts the roots of life. Why she is going back in time? Why there is life afflicted by evil? She has to find what is the cause, where is the origin of that evil in life. She has to find it. Life inescapably accompanied by death, the past that gave rise to it, all that has stayed concealed in the darkness of the past. You see, it was kind of buried in the past. It remained there. Nobody had attended until then that thing, you see, of the past is slowly getting illumined. Memories, windows have opened out. The casements, memories casements have opened out, windows have opened out, and she sees the entire past now. The grim prehistoric happenings are pressing to her view. She sees the three ancient disputants battling. What does she see at the past? She sees three disputants: earth, love, and doom. All the three born of inconscience. She sees they're wrestling against each other since the beginning. Savitri sees at the base of the thing, earth, love, and doom. They born of the dim inconscience. She sees them and also comes to know the pang divine. The divine himself is in pain there, suffering there in the past. You see, pang divine, the god of pain, he waiting there for the daily oblation from her. She is making an offering to her, to him, but she is not satisfied. He is not satisfied here.